So in late November last year, you guys may remember that there was a big disaster in terms of marketing for Kingdom Hearts 3, when Amazon hosted a Black Friday and Cyber Monday livestream over on Twitch, during which we were expecting to get a new trailer. However, this just turned out to be a re-edited version of the latest trailer we had already seen. Now, because of this, a lot of people were quite understandably upset, and this caused a substantial controversy. However, I think as a result of this, one of the more interesting parts of the stream was pushed aside, and that is the idea of DLC in Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, this DLC in particular just turned out to be a pre-order bonus in the form of the Dawn Till Dusk Keyblade, which is nothing more than a reskin of the Starseeker D. However, I want to focus on the fact that they specifically named it as DLC, and not just as a pre-order bonus. So, with DLC on Square Enix's mind, what else could they have in store for us? We do already have multiple downloadable Keyblades available, including the aforementioned Dawn Till Dusk, as well as the Starlight Keyblade from Union Cross, and the two Starseeker reskins for pre-ordering via Xbox or PlayStation, Phantom Green and Midnight Blue respectively. However, I'm talking about completely new Keyblades that we've never seen before, not just reskins of pre-existing Keyblades. Having additional Keyblades could be a great start for Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, for multiple reasons. Firstly, since Keyblade transformations appear to be the main focus of combat, increasing the number of Keyblades could be a great way to change the dynamic of combat, whilst also giving players more variety in the way they approach fights, months after the game has been released. Secondly, they would likely be priced relatively cheaply, allowing for a larger number of players to buy them, even if they are on a tighter budget. And thirdly, it could be a great way to boost certain aspects of battle by having different Keyblades giving different kinds of boosts, effectively rebalancing the game. For example, if the game releases and it turns out that limits are exceptionally weak and are thus underutilized, Square could release a Keyblade that gives an additional boost to the power limits, similar to the way that in Kingdom Hearts 2 every Keyblade has its own ability. This way, anyone who wants to use those limits but feels that they are too weak to do so, could purchase this additional Keyblade at a reasonable price, which is very important, as making these Keyblades too expensive could make them seem far more pay to win than intended. Unsurprisingly to all, I definitely think that having additional worlds as DLC is a must-have. After all, when it comes to a new Kingdom Hearts game, the very first thing that everyone wants to know is what worlds are going to be in it. Is this world going to be in it? What about this one? Or that one? What about these ones? So, adding more worlds to Kingdom Hearts 3 would be a great way for Square to give people who are disappointed that certain worlds didn't make the cut, their dream worlds. I do understand that obtaining the rights to use even more Disney films could be a bit tricky and more than a bit expensive, but I would suggest that Square start with films whose rights they already do have, at least to some extent. Wreck-It Ralph, for example, or maybe Lilo and Stitch, or... okay, maybe not that one. They could also try for the rights they have previously used, such as Beast Castle, or Neverland, or Beast Castle, or the Pride Lands, or Beast Castle. And if they wanted to do something similar, but wanted to avoid the hassle of obtaining more Disney rights, then Square could use this as a great way to introduce Kingdom Hearts fans into some of their other franchises, similar to what they did in Dream Drop Distance with The World Ends With You, a franchise that personally I had never heard of before then. I would also like to point out that so far we have had very little information on the occurrence of Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts 3, so this could be a good chance for Square to boost some of their other franchises, like Dragon Quest, Nier Automata, or Octopath Traveler. One idea that I had that I was immediately drawn to was to, instead of adding new worlds, why don't we just take the ones we already have and expand upon them? What do I mean by this? Well, let's take Toy Story for example. As DLC, we could get to explore other regions of the Toy Story world, such as the airport from 2, or the Sunnyside Daycare from 3. Now, I realise that Toy Story in particular is a very complicated world, as it is in fact canon to the Toy Story movies, taking place between 2 and 3, but I'm sure that Nomura of all people could write a story around this. The reason that I was so drawn to this idea is because of all the demo footage I've been watching recently, and in that demo, you get to see the sheer size of the toy store, along with how truly massive that world is, and the thought of what you could do with the airport in particular, or the underworld from Olympus, is just mind-boggling. Whilst writing this script and seeing how much I've already written and how many points I've got left, I'm beginning to sense that this video might start to drag on for a little longer than I'd like. So, to counteract this, I think it's time we had bringing back and revamping old Keyblades, particularly fan favourites such as Oathkeeper, Oblivion and Fenrir, to include new Keyblade transformations and shot locks. Adding new summons could be a great way to integrate films that release post Kingdom Hearts 3 into the game, or bring back characters from older Disney classics as they receive their live action remakes. Now, personally I've never been to Disneyland, but I'm pretty sure they have more rides than the Teacups, Big Magic Mountain, Pirate Ship, Blaster Blaze, Splash Run and the Magic Carousel. So there is definitely potential for DLC attraction flows. Letting hardcore players hone their skills with the new Kingdom Hearts 3 combat system by giving them extra difficult post-game boss fights. Giving additional mini-games for 100 Acre Woods, Classic Kingdom, or you could turn Remy into Ignis by allowing him to
come up with a new recipe.
Finally, if they're not already in the game, then please bring back tournament cups for Olympus, and even if they are in the game, give us more. Since we finished our speed round, I think that it's time we wrapped up this video, and I want to do it with my personal favourite idea for DLC in Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm calling this one Story Expansions. The basic idea for this one is, as the name suggests, for Square to expand the most likely extremely confusing plot of Kingdom Hearts 3. And how I envisioned this was for them to release DLC similar to that of the episode ofs from Final Fantasy 15, where each DLC would focus on and allow you to play as one of the main characters from Kingdom Hearts 3. In particular, I would love to see a Kairi and Axel DLC, where you play through their training with Merlin, because oh my god, that would be amazing. I mean, they already have Axel's Keyblade transformation sorted, just change them back into the chakrams. You could also have one for Terra, Aqua and Ventus, all of which I'm expecting to play massive roles in the final act. And I'd love for the chance to play as one of the bad guys for a change, like Xehanort or Vanitas. This would be a really great way for us to finally have a boss fight against Sora, Donald and Goofy. We could play as young Xehanort or Ericus back in the good old chess plan days, or perhaps play as one of the Masters, as I'm sure that they too will play an important role in the main story. The possibilities for this and DLC in general are just so vast, and I hope that Square don't miss out on this amazing chance, especially if it's because of the shit show of 15's DLC. Square, don't let me down. This video's over now, goodbye.